Go, Cubs, go!
Happy 4th of July weekend. Not the weekend we really hoped for, but the Cubs made the best of today and made it a whole lot more interesting at the end of the series. Welcome back to Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David Butler. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave us some 5-star reviews, and a comment or two along the way on YouTube and or any audio platform. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy, or on Facebook at Born into the Ivy. I said and or Facebook, and on Twitter, at Born into the Ivy or D Butler 79. So, Cardinals review. Not the series that we wanted, not the series we hoped for. We were riding a whole lot of momentum. Not just the coming off the 23-3 win, but 15 out of the last 19 is a nice roll. And then we lost 2 out of 3 to the St. Louis Cardinals at home. And I'm telling you what, Alex Cohen said right on the broadcast today, the one on Peacock, the rivalry is alive and well just as much as ever. So, Friday's game was a complete and utter disaster. It was embarrassing. Lost 17-1, but just flat out got our butts kicked. David Peterson didn't have it. Bryce Wilson comes in. He didn't have it. And both of them just wore it. At some point, you just got to wear it. So, only one run sucked, but it is what it is. It's hard to keep fighting when you're down 10 runs right away, and then 7 more come across. It's hard to keep fighting, man. It's hard to keep expecting a team to do that. I'm not saying, they're professionals. I get all that. And I'm sure that they were trying their best, but they're humans. So 17-1, it is what it is, and move on. Saturday's game, that sucked. And I tweeted out at one point, I'm over Ian Happ striking out, especially striking out looking when there's freaking runners in scoring position. This man has a strikeout rate with runners in scoring position and 116 at-bats going into today's game. He has a strikeout rate of 37.9%. So he has struck out with runners in scoring position around 39, 40 times. That's it. And he did it again one more time today. He gets paid a whole lot of money for stuff like that. So when are we going to regress to the means, Ian? Because that's his favorite freaking thing to say. It's going to regress to the means. It's going to regress to the means. This dude always gets the same kind of similar numbers at the end of every year. But how much of that is when the team really needs him? In 2022, Ian Happ hit 250 with runners in scoring position. All right. Not terrible, I guess. He had the most at-bats in said situation for the team. Nico Horner had 119 at-bats in that situation in 22 and hit 283. Seiya, 107 at-bats, hit 253, so not much better. 250 I can live with. It's not terrible. In 2023, Ian Happ hit 250 again. A lot of guys better than him, though. Nico Horner again at 323 for that. Bellinger hit 323. Hell, Dansby Swanson hit 267 that year. Seiya Suzuki hit 275. So yeah, 250 is not terrible, but it's not good. In 2024, Cody Bellinger hit 331 again. Pete Crow Armstrong hit 293. Dansby hit 246. Seiya 256. Nico dropped a lot. That was Nico's down year. I think we all know that. Ian Happ hit 239. Worse than the year before. 2025, Ian did his best since 22 at 271. And his strikeout rate was 20.6%. I forgot to look at strikeout rate when I was going over this just now. 30% in 24. 21 and 23. And in 22, it was 26.9. So damn near 27%. Last year's his best year, and last year frustrated me quite a bit. He came on a lot at the end of the season with that. But this man is he is the worst regular in the Cubs organization with runners in scoring position at a 172 batting average. So not only is it insanely frustrating that he's striking out at the clip that he is, he's not even hitting the ball that much. He's not getting runs produced, which is what he should be doing in the middle of the order. If he's in the middle of the batting order, that's what he should be doing. Producing runs. He should be somebody who comes across about a third of the time or comes through about a third of the time. And right now it's not even 20%. And he's not even putting the ball in play to maybe get some sac flies or anything. He's just striking out a ton. That is terrible. If you cannot, as a professional hitter getting paid $20 million a year, learn how to put the ball in play and maybe hit the ball to the opposite field, shorten the damn swing up. What are we doing? Like, why? Like, why do we celebrate the man the way that some of them do? Oh, he's going to have his numbers. Yeah, but at what? Like, how many solo home runs is there? I mean, maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe I'm making too big a deal about it. I know I get on my Ian Happ hate trains. But this is the kind of thing that frustrates me so much. And it really pisses me off when he strikes out looking. The Cubs' best chance yesterday, Sale struck out swinging, at least. Happ strikes out looking, and then Bush hits a soft grounder. With men on second and third. All three of them. Terrible, man. Terrible. Best chance we had, by far. And it could have made a huge difference in the rest of the game if we had go to even just one run. And then we get blanked. For the series, we went 3 for 24 with runners in scoring position. That's just something that cannot creep back up for any kind of extended time. And it will be inexcusable if that happens. It's just not something that can happen. It's going to happen on occasion. It's part of baseball. But longer than a 3 or 4 game stretch is ridiculous. Just terrible. Shota pitched well enough to win Saturday. Cubs did really well today. They went down 3-2. I didn't like Javi getting pulled early. I didn't like that one bit. I think that Counsell overplays his hand sometimes. He gets too smart for his own damn good. Didn't like it at all. All right. I'm going to shut up. Possible trade targets. We're not going to talk about any specific person right now. However, last week I said any team who is more than 5 games out for the last wildcard spot would be considered sellers. Going by that, the Red Sox are not sellers right now anymore. The Reds, however, are. We would have to overpay to get anybody from the Reds. Anybody. They also don't have a guy like Sonny Gray out there that they would be willing to part with, nor should they. They've already parted with Sonny Gray. And so, like, that's not a good trade for the Cubs as far as teams that would be willing to sell, probably. There's a lot of things that can happen in these next 15 to 18 games before the deadline. I'm just putting all that out there like that. And I'm going to track the teams that I think are available. And we'll probably talk about more specific players soon. I already laid out some of that last Wednesday, but it's definitely worth monitoring and seeing who could be available. The Cubs face the Orioles. This next 15-game stretch, there's 6 more games left before the All-Star break, and then 9 after the All-Star break. The Cubs have got to win ball games and show the front office that they need help and they are worth investing in with draft capital or prospect capital. They face the Orioles for 3 coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they finish the first half in Cincinnati for 3 more. Big series. Cincinnati plays us tough. They have Hunter Green back, and we will probably face him. Andrew Abbott is a guy that we've had trouble with, but we've got to figure out a way to get 2 out of 3, or to sweep the Orioles and only have to win 1 to finish 4-2 for the rest of this half. They need to go 4-2 for the rest of this half, and they will close the first half out 12 games over 500. If they can do that, I think that's a huge win and a good spot to be in. But then they will have 3 games at home against the Twins, 3 more at home against the Tigers, and then 3 at Pittsburgh that will be huge. They need to go 6-3 in that series, in my opinion, to prove to the front office that this is a team to go all in on. Because we have got to add a lot of pitching. I get that. And I'm asking for a whole lot of stuff there. And to go 10-15 in the next 15 games with a pitching staff that is depleted. I understand that that's a lot to ask for. But it's something that needs to be done. Or, at the very least, they need to go 9-6. And the offense cannot be the main reason that they lost the majority of those 6 games. They can't be. Because if the offense continues to sputter at times, why would you invest to get more pitching if the offense is going to score runs? Why? That doesn't make sense. Does it? It doesn't make sense at all. The offense has got to keep up their end with all the pitching injuries. If the offense can do their part, we can get more reinforcements for pitching. Is it going to cost a lot prospect-wise? Yeah. Do I think that we have to give up all of our top 6 or 7 guys, prospects? Absolutely not. I think we can keep at least 3 of them and still bring in impact pitching that can help this team right now get through the gap while some of these guys come back and are healthy and get us through. I don't think we have to add a ton for the bullpen because we have guys like Penn Brown that there's hope for coming back in relief and Justin Steele. Those guys can make a huge impact in the bullpen. Doesn't mean we don't need bullpen reinforcements. But I think right now we need at least 2, at least 1 high-impact starter and another starter to help supplement and give us more depth because the depth has been wiped out. And there was a ton of depth for the starting rotation. A ton of it. Javier Assad, I love the guy. I love the way he fights, but he is not the dog that we want him to be. He is a good pitcher. He's a solid pitcher. He's a guy who can help us, but he's not a guy who's going to be a dog in the playoffs. He's not. Is Matthew Boyd? I think he's shown he's capable of that. But that's a lot of trust in him right now. And I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying that we need to have something to be able to fall back onto. Do I think that David Peterson can get to the guy that we need him and want him to be? I do. I really do. It's not going to happen immediately for the next, he's not going to roll out another, 15 starts now from now till the end of the season and be a stud for all 15. That's not going to happen. He's not the guy that we brought in. That's not the guy that we brought in. Edward Cabrera needs to come back and be the freaking stud that he was brought in to be because of what we gave up to get him. That's who needs to become a stud, and it hasn't been yet. But if we can bring in a guy like Sonny Gray, or even bigger, that might cost. We may only be able to save 2. If we were to go after something big, I'm not going to say his name. We all know who the hell I'm talking about. I don't know if that would be enough for the Tigers, but I also not sure I'm comfortable giving up 4 of our top 6 prospects for him. Are you guys? Tell me what you think. Do you think that Tarek Skubal for only the rest of this season guaranteed is worth and this dude's going to cost at least 500 million at least. Is he worth 4 of our top 6 prospects and probably a little bit more from the bottom half of the prospect top 30? I mean, damn. I know that it's not as highly touted, but it's a whole lot more highly touted with Josiah Hartshorn going the hell off. It's a whole lot more highly touted with Owen Ayers going the hell off. Kane Kepley, Ethan Conrad has come back crushing the ball already. The number 1 pick from last year. And we're about to have another number 1 pick, number 23 overall, lower than what we're used to for the last couple of years. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But it is what it is. Like, reality is reality, right?
Go, Cubs, go!
So we need to win. We need to win 10 of these next 15, 9 at the worst. And 10 would put us 15 games over 500 and in a really good spot to make a nice run. You don't go all in just to finish at the top of the wild card. You don't go all in to get one of those last 2 wild card spots. You just don't. Like, that's crazy. You hope for the best at that point, and it's a crapshoot, right? You go all in if you think you can go for the division and you can make a deep run in the playoffs. That's when you go all in. You got to match up against the Dodgers. That rotation is freaking insane. You got to match up against the Brewers. What they do is freaking insane. On the injury front, Shelby Miller, relief pitcher who was signed back in February after undergoing surgery to repair right torn UCL, and a flexor tendon last October, has resumed throwing, I apologize, in Arizona. What that means, we don't know. If everything goes perfect, could he be available in September? I think that's a possibility. But everything's got to go perfect. Like, I think it's too early to say, hey, I think this is a strong possibility. But it is a possibility and it's intriguing. It's something to watch. This is a guy who is older, but has a uber amount of success as a relief pitcher. A late inning relief pitcher, high leverage guy. And then one more guy that I want to talk about injury-wise, Jameson Taillon, pitched 3 1/3 innings today in rehab with South Bend. Walked nobody, struck out 2, and gave up 1 run. So it's possible. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. It is possible that he could make an abbreviated start of some sort before the half is over, and probably in Cincinnati. That concerns me some. The more I think about that now, that was just thought in my head, because Cincinnati is kind of a bandbox. But it's something maybe we could stack he and Javi in matchups and see how that goes. Or he and Shota. No, that's not going to work because Shota's not going to come in after him. But it's an intriguing possibility. At worst, as long as he feels well, he'll be back after the All-Star break. I think that Javi probably, I don't know who goes out of the rotation, to be honest, actually. But things to think about and be aware of. Baltimore Orioles preview. I will finish this and then we'll get the heck out of Dodge. I apologize. I've gone a little longer than I wanted to. Probable starters for Tuesday. We got Matthew Boyd, left-handed pitcher, versus Shane Baz. Boyd 3-1, 5.08. Baz 4-8 with a 4.19 ERA. On Wednesday, we got Colin Ray, 6-5, 4.74 ERA against right-hander Dean Kremer, 1-1 at 3.18 ERA. Kremer, the best numbers, but minimal amount of starts so far. On Thursday, we got left-hander David Peterson versus lefty Trevor Rogers. Peterson at 4-7 with a 6.75 ERA against Rogers at 6-7 with a 4.7 ERA. The Orioles are currently in 4th place. after losing today against the Reds. They in the AL East and currently have a 42-49 record. They are 4-6 in their last 10. They are only 4 games back in a crowded AL wild card scene from the last spot. With 7 games under, like that shows you how crazy of a season it has been for the AL right now. And for any team to be out of it, like Kansas City, that's just like wow. You know what I mean? Their offense is ranked 13th in the league, though, with a 4.60 RPG with runs per game. Cubs are 5th at a 5.04. The team ERA for the Orioles is 4.35, 20th in the majors. Their starting pitchers rank a little higher at 4.43, 17th. The relief pitchers at 4.26 and 19th. They are offensively led by Pete Alonso, who sure would have been nice if we could have signed him. I was against it at the time, but if we could have gotten him instead of Alex Bregman and had Pedro Ramirez, Matt Shaw playing third base, I'd be happy right now. I don't know about the rest of you. Not to dog on Alex Bregman, but you know what? Let's dog on Alex Bregman real quick. Alex Bregman has got to do better, or he's got to get the hell out of the 2-hole. However, I don't know who you're going to put there. Carson Kelly, maybe? Actually, that's not a terrible idea, is it? Alex Bregman, man. Come on, dude. You're capable of way more. Please do it. Otherwise, I'm going to go on a huge rant like I do about Ian Happ because this sucks. He had a nice double today, but then it's terrible after that. Terrible. Samuel Basallo and Adley Rutschman are kind of splitting roles together. They have a 792 and 782 OPS. They also have Gunnar Henderson, who has not had his best first half of the year, and is perfectly capable of just lighting up and taking over a series, just like Pete. And so that's something to watch for because I didn't talk about his OPS. It's like 713. He could light that the hell up this against us, and it'd be great. So watch for that guy. Bullpen is led by Tyler Wells with a 3.02 ERA, Rico Garcia at 2.39, and Yennier Cano at 2.48. The rest of their bullpen, though, pretty suspect. So if we can get and force some time into the bullpen, do what the Cubs offense is pretty good at, and draw walks, make pitches thrown, and get into the rest of the bullpen, and not those 3 guys, we can make some noise for sure. Players of the week for the week. So I went back and forth for position player between Pete and Dansby. Dansby's OPS was like 1,700. Pete's is 1,552. And I went with Pete because Pete impacted more than 2 games. That's why. Pete had a hell of a week. Dansby put up major numbers in 2 games, but that was kind of it. Like all those numbers came in those 2 games and had inflated numbers in the 23-3 game and all that. So Pete, 1 double, 0 triple, 2 home runs, 6 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. He had a 467 batting average, a 619 on base percentage, a 933 OP or slugging, and the 1552 OPS. I mean, that's just dynamite, guys. Shota Imanaga was my starting pitcher of the week, and this is going to say a lot about the state of the starting pitching this week. Shota had 1 game started, 4 2/3 innings, 3.27 ERA, a 310 batting average, and an 808 OPS. But he had a 2.93 FIP, which tells you that he just got hit in places he probably shouldn't have and normally wouldn't. But it is what it is. Like, results are results, right? But he was, in my opinion, the best starter of the week. And for relief pitching, I went with Gavin Hollowell, 2 games, 2 innings, 0 average or ERA, 0 average, a 222 OPS because he had a 222 on base percentage, and 3.97 FIP. Again, nothing like super great. The Cubs were rolling because the offense was rolling and making the pitching look a little better than what they are. So,
go Cubs, go!
That's just what's got to happen to get us through this stretch. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook group at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy and or on Twitter at dbutler79 or at Born Into the Ivy. I'm David. Thank you for watching and or listening to our podcast today at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave us some 5-star reviews and a comment or two on along the way. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs.